So you want to start streaming to Twitch, but you don't know how to get started. Well, today I'm going to walk you through in just a few short minutes and a few short steps on how you can get started today streaming directly to Twitch, even Facebook, whatever platform you choose, using OBS Studio. And OBS Studio is the preferred platform that I use, but everything you see here will also apply to Streamlabs OBS. So let's get right to it. So the first thing you want to do is you have your blank canvas here, and this is my setup, but what you would do is you would go into settings first. This would be the very first thing you do is you go into settings, go to the output, and one of the things you would check here is the video bitrate. When you're starting out, I would normally recommend staying around these settings, so about 3500 for your bitrate, and then your encoder. If you have a good graphics card, then you can use the NVENC. And if you have a better CPU than graphics card, then you can use the software encoding. And then you also want to go into the video settings after that. And me personally, I set the base canvas as 1080. So then you get a nice big screen that you can work with, but then I downscale the output to 720 and I limit my frames to 30. So if you have a better machine, you can up that, but generally starting out 720/30 looks more than good enough. I mean, nobody's going to notice any different whatsoever in your stream. And then once you have that, your whole canvas will be here, and now you're ready to start adding extra things. So one of the things that every streamer needs to be able to do is you need to be able to see your chat, and you need to be able to see your activity feed as to what's going on. So to be able to do that, all you have to do is you go up to View at the top and go to Docs, and then you enable your chat, and it'll show up on the left or wherever there's free space on the screen. And then you go back to View and Docs again, and then you add the activity feed. And then once you've done that, now you have them right here, so you can see what's going on, because that's one of the things people look for, is they want somebody that's interactive. So you want to make sure you're aware of what's going on. So you look at the chat, and you look at the activity feed, and you know what's happening. And you can rearrange those on the screen as you see fit if you want to. It's not necessary, but it's just one of those options that you have. So you have your chat on the left, and your activity feed on the right, but you can do whatever order you want. Me personally, I have my gaming monitor on the left and my streaming monitor on the right. So I put my chat and activity feed on the left of that screen, so when I'm gaming, all I have to do is look out of the corner of my eye and I can see my chat. So I don't have to completely disregard what I'm doing, and I'll be able to see it. And you can go through, this is basically the same thing you'd be able to see if you went into the dashboard on Twitch's website, and you would be able to see all the different things. You can filter your activity feed, you can control your stream as a mod directly from that chat widget, and it gives you all those cool features. So that's simple, guys. So now let's move on to your scenes. So we're going to completely start from scratch here. We have a completely blank canvas. We've already set up our sizes and our outputs and everything. So the very first thing you do, you have a blank scene here, and you want to add a source. And now when you're streaming, there's going to be three main sources that you use. You're going to have either display capture, game capture, or window capture. And personally, I recommend using all three. So we'll go through each one of them one by one here. So the easiest one to use is display capture. It literally captures your entire display, and that's all there is to it. Personally, I see that it gets the lowest FPS, so I don't recommend it unless you're playing a very low demanding game, or if none of the other options work. But you do that, it captures everything, and I disabled the preview, that way you wouldn't have to see everything. Now your other option is window capture, and it's pretty straightforward. You literally go around choosing a different window that you want to capture, and if I enable the preview here, you can see it is now capturing my Google Chrome window, which you see here has a random streamer that I was just checking out earlier before I decided to make this video. And you see he's a Dr. Disrespect impersonator, but that's besides the point. And now the third one, game capture. This is the one I recommend to use because it has the best FPS and your stream will look the best. So you have two options here. You can either capture any full screen window or a specific one. And if you play more than one game, I'm going to recommend capture any full screen application. That way, whenever you start up the application, no matter what game you're playing, it'll automatically capture it, and you won't have to go in, make changes every single time you want to switch games. Because sometimes that will happen. You may have to move your camera around or do this or do that, but if you choose any, it'll always do it. So if I pick a random game here, Magic the Gathering, it's starting to load up, and boom, here you see it now being displayed on the screen using the game capture. And if I go back into it, you see it's on any, but you can also choose a specific, and then you have to choose the window, and you have to choose the game that you want. And it'll only work for games. You see it doesn't work for Streamlabs, but it will work if I choose an actual game. And give it a couple seconds and boom, there you go. Now you see it on the screen. But now you may notice that you have the game on the screen, but you're maybe wondering, do I have any audio? Well, the answer is no. You do not have any audio. There's no settings in the game capture to capture audio. It only is capturing the video. So what you want to do now is you will go in and add another source on this one scene, and we are going to look for the audio output capture. Now there's a whole nother video that I can make about the audio, which we will do at a later date, but the number one thing you want to do is you just capture it, and 99% of you guys will use the default option. Me personally, I am using Voicemeeter, which does some advanced things of controlling the different audios, and that's my default audio, so I like to choose it manually. But you see now, we are capturing audio. You're not going to hear that audio in this video because the software I'm using to capture what I'm showing you was not capturing audio because I had it turned off. But you see, the only thing I have going to it is the game. And as long as you see those levels, it's capturing it. And then another thing you're going to want to capture is your microphone. And when you add your audio input capture, make sure that you choose the correct microphone, because a lot of computers will have multiple microphones, and you'll need to make sure you choose the good one. Like me personally, I have a USB microphone, so I choose that as the option. And you may notice as soon as I hook the microphone up, it immediately starts capturing things. And I'm recording this audio as an overlay, as a voiceover. It's not being recorded live when I'm recorded on-screen stuff. So it's picking up tons of background noise. So what you can do is you can go in here and add some simple filters. And I recommend adding them in this order: noise suppression, noise gate, and then a compressor. Add the compressor last. And as you see, as soon as I added those, the audio level stopped. And then if I make any sound or snap my fingers, it comes back. But suppression, gate, and then compressor in that order. And you will see the audio. You'll cut out a lot of background noise, and it'll sound a lot better already. And that's just the simple part. There's a lot more complex things you can do, which will go into audio. We'll make a whole nother series video on just the audio levels. But once you've done that, the only other thing that you may want to add is a webcam itself. So I just had the simple C270, and you can click on configure video and you can mess with the settings themselves. But what I always recommend doing is you change the resolution to custom, and you choose the correct resolution for the camera that you have. This one's only 720 because I'm a cheapskate, so you just choose 720. Make sure you use the highest FPS. The video format doesn't matter, just choose any, but do the highest color space as well as the other settings. So once you've done that, you'll see it did not add anything because my camera is in use by another application at the moment. So what you have to do is you go back into the video capture device and choose Snap Camera, because that's the program that's actually using my camera, and you resize that window, and then you can simply click, drag, put it anywhere on the map. For this particular game, I already know the bottom right corner is the best position because it hides the least amount of stuff on the game itself. Because I tend to like to have my stuff full screen, which one thing I didn't mention is when you add those video or the window display and capture and game captures, if it doesn't fill your full screen, right click, hit transform, and go to fit to screen, and it'll fill your entire screen. Worst case, you may have to hit stretch to screen, but otherwise it should be fine. So now you have your camera and your game, and you're all set. And thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this, remember to subscribe and like this video, and tell me what's something you're struggling with setting up with OBS or streaming in general. leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to make a video about it, walk you through it. And if you would like, you can join my Discord and you can talk to me directly if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you walk through it and get you set up and ready to stream. Until next time, see you later.